Hi there, Austin students. Here we are at the beginning of week 4. Man, time is flying. At least it is for me. So I'm here on the Schoology page, and I have added, or am in the process of adding, folder 4 with the date of September 28th, which is Monday, through October 4th, which is next Sunday. All right, so there's 2 things in here, and when you open it, you're going to see the third, which is the video that you're watching right now. So I'm going to click on the Nearpod. Nope, I'm not going to click on the Nearpod lesson. You know what that's all about. There have been a couple of people who've sent me emails about Nearpod not working. So a couple of things about that. We got an upgrade on our license, so everything should be fixed now, but if you are having trouble accessing the lesson, a couple of things you can try is to restart your browser. And remember that you should be restarting your whole computer once a week anyway. That always helps to keep things flowing nicely. But if you tried those things and it still doesn't work, I'm going to suggest that you try a different browser. So if Chrome is giving you trouble, then try Firefox or the Microsoft one. That's called Edge, I guess. Try one of those, and if you're already using Firefox or Edge, go try and use Chrome. Try those things before you tell me that that it's not working for you. And if you've tried those things and it doesn't work, then yes, by all means, tell me. All right, the podcast assignment, I'm going to click on it this week because it is different. This is the start of our 4th week, so you've done 3 weeks of assignments where I have chosen the podcast for you. Today starts the time where you choose your own. And you might look at this page and go, oh, Mrs. Gaunt, that's too much for me to read. Well, it shouldn't be. You should be able to read that. But I get it. So I have included a recording at the bottom that reads through your instructions in case you forget. But here's how it works. I've given you a number of podcasts to choose from, and you can go to these podcasts on Spotify just by clicking it. So I'm going to click on But Why, a podcast for curious kids. But before I do, it says in yellow up here that you must choose episodes that are more than 12 minutes long. So I just want to say something about that. The idea here is for you to choose podcasts that are interesting to you. All right. If I choose one for you, it might be boring and you might say, oh, this is too long. But if you choose something that's interesting to you, it won't matter if it's long because it'll be interesting to you and the time will really go by and you'll enjoy listening to the podcast. All right. After you listen to the podcast, as usual, you're going to click on the podcast summary report and fill out the information there. Make sure you're telling me what the podcast is. That's these choices down at the bottom. And then whatever episode you choose, you need to tell me what it is so I can go listen to it if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to click on But Why. It takes you to Spotify, to the page for the podcast. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it takes us to Spotify. It's going to pull up But Why, a podcast for curious kids. And then down here you can see all episodes. So if you scroll down, why are some animals pets and others are lunch? Why do dogs have tails? Why do cats sharpen their claws? Here's the vaccine one that we started watching. Whoops, now it's going by itself. There was the vaccine one up there at the top that was one we watched before. So any of these would be fine. Just make sure you're not choosing one that's less than 12 minutes long. All right. I'm going to head back to Schoology. And I'm going to go back to the main page because there's one more thing I want to show you. So I have found that with Packer students and Austin students separate and with my distance learning students that I am in the process of grading, and you guys might see that I mark something missing and hurry up and fix it, but I'm still grading other people's work, and it's just getting too hard for me to manage. So from now on, if you have any assignments that are in the grade book as missing, and you finish them, to tell me about them, you're going to do it through this form. It's the form at the top of the page called Yay, I Completed My Missing Work. If you click on it, it's a very simple form, but I'm going to run you through it too to make sure that you fill out everything you're supposed to. Okay? It says use this form to tell Mrs. Gaunt that you have completed something that was marked missing in the grade book. If you have completed more than one missing assignment, use one form for each completed assignment. All right, for number 1, your first and your last name. That's super important. I have kids who still just put their first name, and I have many kids who have the same name. You have to tell me both your names. All right, what group are you in? You should know this by now. Are you an Austin student, a Packer student? Do you have me first hour or second hour? Or are you a distance learner? Click on the appropriate one. Next, you remember that all the assignments that we have in our OneNote and in Schoology are specific names. The graph analysis, the notes, processing activity 1, processing activity 2, the podcast assignment or a test. You can click on the one that you're submitting, or if it's something else that I don't know about, you can click other. All right, and then this is just as important. Question number 4, which week or folder number is the assignment from? If it's from folder 3, you just type a 3. If it's from folder 2, you type a 2. If it's from week 4, week 5, whatever, when we're going down the way, just tell me the number. That's all you have to tell me, and then submit. All right, so if you have sent me an email already and it still says missing in the gradebook, you can see that I'm having a problem with it. So go here and finish this form. All right, and I'm going to jump over to OneNote. Nothing new here. We've got our same old things, graph analysis, notes. Notes looks a little different this time. It's a thinking map. This is a cause and effect thinking map. So the things on the far left are causes of changes in population size. The things way over on the right are results of a change in the population size. All right, read through that carefully and then answer the questions at the bottom. Processing activity 1 is a lab we're going to do in class. We get to dissect owl pellets this week. It's been really fun. I think you'll enjoy it. And processing activity 2 is a little bit of research on endangered animals. So you'll click on this page, and when it pops up, you'll see that it's a list of critters that are on the endangered species list. Actually, it's critters that are endangered and vulnerable and threatened and not much of a concern. You need to only choose one that's an endangered species, but there are plenty. You could choose critically endangered as well. All right, choose one of those and note there's a bunch of them here, and this is only the first page. There are 2 pages of endangered species. So when you choose your animal, you need to know its common name and its scientific name. So you got that right here. And if you click on the blue link on the common name, it'll tell you more about information that you need to finish your research. You may have to go to another website to finish your research completely. Just make sure you're going to a site that is trustworthy. That means it probably isn't a .com site. It should be .org, .edu, .gov. One of those is usually the best. All right, and then a checklist as usual. So this should be a fun week. So I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you contact me if you're having questions or trouble with technology. All right, see you guys.